I don't want to waste any time at all. Let's just get started with this video. So we have had this format for about 3 months now, and I am very much sick of it. I said that very clearly in my last video. So I am ready to just move on to a new format. But of course, it's been a little under 3 months since we got our ban list, so I think it's about time we get a new one. And these are just my speculations. Now I know they don't matter at all, but I find it very fun to speculate. I've seen a lot of videos from other YouTubers saying on what they want to get hit, and this is just my. If I were creating the ban list, this is what I would do. I am hitting everything. I'm bringing some stuff back. Let's go. So let's start with the ban cards. I'm banning Kieran because fuck this card. This card is incredibly broken. I understand why it has this little cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, but that is the only reason this card is so broken. The fact that it's a Pleiades that can't be targeted. The problem with Constellar Pleiades, and Constellar Pleiades is a great card, but the problem with Pleiades is that you can bottomless it, you can dark hole it, you can Raigeki it, you can do all sorts of shit to it, but with Kieran, it's just like, nah, fam, I'm staying, so. Kieran banned, Raigeki banned, this card is unfair. It is legit unfair. That's also I'm putting Dark Hole to 3. Raigeki is just unfair, allowing for OTKs. But Dark Hole, you have to take the risk of nuking your own board. Now, sure, it allows most decks now to go second. So, but I feel like Dark Hole to 3 would create an interesting bit of the format. If you ban Raigeki, put Dark Hole to 3, you know, I'd love to see what would happen, because I feel like a lot of anti-meta decks would rise just because a lot of anti-meta decks don't need monsters in the field. So they can be like, I'm going second. Their opponent can board them, especially with Zodiac Beast coming out. Excuse me. Zodiac Beast will sub their board, you Dark Hole them, you summon a bunch of monsters, and then your opponent's just dead. So I'd like to see Raigeki banned, and I would put Dark Hole to 3. Just to see what would happen. Honestly, you could say Raigeki and Dark Hole should both be banned, but I feel like we should have more board wipes in the game. But I feel like if you're going to play a board wipe, it should kill your own side of the field. If you have a board set up and you activate a Dark Hole to kill your opponent's monster, then you should lose something as well. Vanity's Emptiness should be banned. As much as I love Floodgates, this card just needs to go. It's complete bullshit when your opponent has like a Hope Harbinger, a Crystal Wing, and sometimes an Infinity to go with it, and they just set a Vanities or have like a Maxi in their hand, and all of a sudden you just get dicked out by the one of Vanities that your opponent drew. So this card needs to get banned. Level Leader, I'd like to see get banned. Dark Synchro isn't really a popular deck at the moment, but the card just creates so many inherently broken combos, and the fact that it can literally deck your opponent, just ban it. That's it for the ban cards. I don't really think anything else needs to get banned, just these 4. I don't think that they're going to ban these, but we'll see. The OCG banned Kieran, and the OCG has Raigeki banned, so maybe these 2 will get banned, but I don't know. For limited, and I know I said that I don't like cards being limited, but I can't really create a list where everything is at banned or at 3 unless I go through every card that's currently on the list, and I'm not making a 45. Ooh. And I just do not have the time or energy to make and edit a 45-minute video. These videos take quite a long time as it is. So I know I said that I'm very anti-limited, semi-limited, and I still am. But they're going to exist, so I have to make a ban list in the way they are. So for semi-limited, we have Anti-Spell Fragrance. Fuck this card. I don't care that Metal Foes are the best deck. They need to, what the fuck? God, my own voice bores me. It's great. I don't care that Metal Foe is the best deck. There are other ways to counter Metal Foe, so. Just all these inherently staple cards need to get banned. Or limited, excuse me. Anti-Spell, Solemn Strike, and Twin Twister. These cards have way too much value. They do. Like, even though these cards have been printed multiple times, they're all worth a lot of money, and just the effects of the cards themselves can easily make you go plus, and your opponent. Sometimes your opponent just literally can't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, if you anti-spell a Pendulum player, the majority of the time they can't play. If you Solemn Strike a DDD player on the Genghis, they're probably going to lose the game. If you Twin Twister, like a Magic Spectre player for 2 back, or if you Twin Twister the Scales, they might just lose the game. So. I'm talking about main deck cards first, by the way, and then I'll go to the extra deck. I should have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, these cards just need to get limited. Terraforming needs to get limited. Every field, instead of having a card like this, where you can go search any field spell, there should be more cards like Gravekeeper's Commandant, where it searches your archetype-based field spell. Or something like Neospace Pathfinder to go get it. Planet Pathfinder, I think will be perfectly fine. It can stay, just because it does take up your normal summon, and you have to tribute it, so your opponent has a lot of ways to respond to it. But with Terraforming, it's kind of just like you activate it and you get that card right away. You don't have to waste a normal summon. You don't have to waste a tribute. You just activate it and boom, you have the card. So I feel like this should either be banned or at 1, and just create more archetype-based field spell searchers, where you just discard them and search the one field spell instead of having a utility card. This is also a hit toward ABC, because fuck ABC. And then Terratop should get limited. Just for those of you who don't know, if you haven't seen Zodiac Beast, if you open Terratop, like literally, if the Zodiac Beast player just opens Terratop, it is a +5 combo. And they end their board with Coach King Giant Trainer, MX Saber Invoker, an Adroncia that gets to pop one of your cards during your turn. So, and the Coach King Giant Trainer drew them 3 cards. So they've gone +5 off of just a Terratop. They have almost 7,000 damage on board, and odds are they've set a couple traps. And that's off 1 card. There's still 4 extra cards in their hand when they open their hand. So if they have the circle, if they have the triangle, they can blow that up and get another Zodiac Beast. So this card just needs to get limited or banned to stop that Zodiac Beast bullshit. Or what you might want to do is possibly ban Invoker, because this card also leads to a bunch of inherent bullshit with Molmarat. For those of you who don't know, it is this atrocity. This card's incredibly broken, so either hit Terratop or hit Invoker. I don't care which one. And then to the cards that should be at 2. Book of Moon, obvious. The card's been power creep. Compulse to 2, card's been power creep. Let Barrier Statue have a little bit. I think Pantheism should go to 2. Like, Monarchs have done nothing relevant. Like, Domain Monarchs have topped a few regionals, but that's only because of Vanity's Fiend. This card has become insanely popular lately. I feel like this card should probably also be banned, because it's just a monster form of this card that doesn't die when you send a card from your deck. Now, sure, Vanity's Fiend is a monster, so it is easier to out with inherent board wipes. Also, like Book of Moon, like Forbidden Chalice, there are many more outs to Vanity's Fiend, which is why I think it's a healthier card than Vanity's Emptiness. But it can also dick out your opponent, so that card's probably banned. But I feel like Pantheism can come to 2. Monarchs haven't done anything. If you want, put Aether back to 2, but Aether to me should have been banned. That card is incredibly broken, so. Carter Demise to 2, just to hit the anti-meta players just a little bit. Demise isn't very popular, but the card is still, at its best, a +2, and if it's at worst, it's just like a 1-for-1. So, but the card just still has inherent value. I'd put it to 2. For cards that should be at 3, Dark Hole, I've already said why it should be at 3. Upstart should be at 3. Upstart and Maxi should be at 3. Just inherent draw power. Every deck should be able to run 3 Upstart Goblin and 3 Maxi. Now and plus it would create a format to where if you take the challenge and don't kill your opponent, they might have another Maxi in their hand to do it again. So that's why these cards should be at 3. And plus, they're just staples. Most staples should be at 3. Dragon Ravine to 3. This card, I understand why it was banned, and I understand why it's at 2, but it needs to come to 3. Dragoonides wouldn't do shit if Ravine was at 3. If Ravine goes to 3 and Terraforming goes to 1, Dragoonides won't do shit. So I don't know why this card's still at 2. Because right now they have 5 Dragon Ravines. If you put this to 3 and put this to 1, then they only have 4. So it's very hard for them to get to the card. But still, fuck you, Dragoonides players. And then Joker to 3. Monkey Board's banned, Luster's at 1. You put this to 3, that's perfectly fine. Now, sure, with Brilliant Fusion, it gets a little broken because it's not once per turn. You can search 2 cards. But, I mean, they still need to have the second Joker, and they might not have the second Joker. So I think putting this to 3 is perfectly fine. Disagree with me all you want, that's just my opinion. For extra deck cards, Norden needs to be banned, and Omega probably needs to be banned. Norden, CMO made a really good video on why Norden should be banned. Just because the card itself, gives you way too much advantage for absolutely no reason. Instant Fusion turns into any rank 4 in the game the majority of the time. So with Norden, if you ban it, then decks running Norden fucking tired, dude. But decks running Norden, more specifically like Mermails and Heroes, to make Bahamut Sharks to make Totally Awesome, if you ban Norden, they're stuck now using something like Rare Fish, which requires much more investment because Rare Fish will not summon you a monster out of your graveyard. So if you activate Instant Fusion to summon out the Rare Fish from your extra deck, you need to put something else into your Bahamut Shark, or into your Dweller, or into your Utopia, or into your Castel. You're just not allowed to go Instant Fusion rank 4. Just no. Fuck that. That is way too good. The rank 4 toolbox is probably have some of the best monsters ever printed. Utopia the Lightning, Castel, Dweller, Cowboy, they have access to so many broken cards and so many staple cards of the format that if you just get rid of the problem of everyone having rank 4s, then it makes people go through more work. You can still make your Bahamut Shark, you can make a Castel, but instead of just doing it with 1 card, it's now going to take you 2 cards. Meaning now that your Xyz summon now has a little bit of risk. Instead of just, oh, I lost my board to a warning, okay, Instant Fusion back, here's a Castel, and now I've generated some of my advantage again. And Omega, this card is so fucking broken. I don't care about I don't care about Dark Synchro, I don't care about Psyframe at all, even though I've played the deck. The card needs to go. It is disgusting. And it's also $50. Like, banning it would just also decrease the value. And just, the problem isn't that it can return banished cards. That is perfectly fine in my opinion. Just, you can put your Mizukis back, you can put your Necro Slimes back, you can put your Infernoids back, whatever. The problem is that it's like Kieran. Oh god, I can't speak to it. It gets itself off the field for no cost. The only requirement is that your opponent has a card in hand. And every time they set a card, before they set their last card, you can just get the Omega off the field. And now all of a sudden, they've got nothing and you can just grind your way through the back row. So this card should be banned. Kanahawk to 3, free my nigga Kanahawk, obviously. This card should have never been hit. Buster and Totally Awesome. I think these cards should go to 1. Just because ABC is new. It's only been around for like 2 or 3 months. So they probably won't hit it in any way, shape, or form. I also thought about putting the A, B, and C's themselves to possibly 2. But I feel like if you ban Buster, if you put Buster to 1, that really decreases the power level of the deck. Because now, if that Buster, say, gets Cherries, if they activate a Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries to banish it, and you don't have a Pot of Acquisitiveness to put it back in your extra deck or any way of getting it back like a Magnet Reverse, then the ABC player just has no value except of their rank 4s. And if you stop their rank 4s, they will not win the game. So hit the power card. If you put Buster to 1 and Terraforming to 1, ABC has all the hits. It can have everything else. Whatever. And Totally Awesome. Just making a board of 2 of these in water decks it's unfair. Like if you go first, like if Mermail go first, they can have a board of Bahamut Shark, Toad, possibly a Megalo equipped with Mikazuchi, and they have like 3 waters in hand. Like that is disgusting. They can just throw things at it. They can just keep throwing things at your opponent, and you can keep taking it. Like, if it just negated stuff, no one would care, but it's the fact that it takes the card. Like, I had to play against Paleozoic Frogs at my locals last week, and he made 3 of these turn 1, and he took both of my Busters and a Soul Charge. I was not winning that game, so... And it's the same thing with Buster. It just banishes cards for no reason, and can easily just tag itself out to make 3 more cards. And this thing floats! This frog fucking floats! These cards are so good, but yep. Those cards should go to 1, and that's pretty much it for my ban list predictions. I've taken what I think about the format, analyzed it a little bit, and here are my predictions. If I left anything out, leave it in the comment section down below. If you have any suggestions about what you think should be banned, or could come off of the ban list, let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I'll make a video about it. But 9 minutes, thanks for City Magic. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.